Bradford City end their 2024-25 league campaign with a home clash against Pete Wild's Fleetwood Town, and in today's video you're going to find out how both teams have gotten so far this season, what my starting level would be for this game if I was Graham Alexander. If you do go on to enjoy, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 180 likes on today's video? That would be massively appreciated. And don't forget to get your score predictions in and starting 11 in down in the comment section down below. It is now, after Saturday, the biggest league game that Bradford City have played in for 25 years. It is as simple as we win, we are a League One football club. No matter what Walsall do, no matter what Notts County do, if we draw, then I don't think Notts County can get promoted, but it would require Walsall to then not win. There's a lot of crazy different stipulations. Let's just focus on ourselves and make sure that we get the job done. But my team, Bradford City, we currently sit third in the League 2 table. After 45 matches, we've got 21 wins, 12 draws and 12 defeats, scoring 63 goals and also conceding at 45, which leaves us on a positive 18 goal difference and 75 points. We have the worst goal difference now out of the entire top six. Obviously, our recent run of form hasn't been amazing, with a loss, a draw, a loss and a win. In terms of them last couple of matches then, on Saturday we obviously had that 2-1 defeat away at Doncaster Rovers. Very frustrating. First half we were absolutely diabolical. Aidan Baldwin gets himself sent off just after the half-time whistle was blown, so he's going to miss this game, then either the first playoff semi-final leg or the first game of next season. But Doncaster were definitely the better side and definitely did deserve not only the 3 points but the promotion that came with it as well. We also had a 3-3 draw away at Chesterfield FC. Again, 3-1 up, 2-0 up, and only coming away from this game with a point was very frustrating. Bringing off Brandon Cayley because he was ill even now does seem very bizarre, and obviously a really frustrating match where we did drop more points away from home. We also had a 1-1 draw at home to Notts County. David McGoldrick scoring an absolute worldly for the visitors in this one after Kieran Kelly opened up the scoring from a Brandon Cayley free kick. In terms of the performance, probably a point was a fair result, but in the isolation of our season, we've got to be winning our home games, especially against the teams around us. But I guess you can't factor in when McGoldrick just thinks he's going to turn into prime Dave McGoldrick, really, because he is still that at his age. We also had a crazy 5-4 defeat away at Swindon. We all know how much the red card did change this game, and it obviously changed our season as well. If Small didn't get sent off, we would probably be a League One football club and would have probably won the league as well. But a couple of own goals and some sloppy defending for the others, scoring 4 goals away from home and coming away from the match with no points. It was certainly a very long journey home, but thankfully it's not cost us all too much at this stage, and it is still in our hands. And we also had a 2-0 win at home to Crewe Alexandra. Bobby Poynton scoring our fastest ever EFL goal. Callum Kavanagh wrapping the game up. Obviously this was when we went top of the table. We haven't won since then. Hopefully we can end the season though with a win, and that'd be very ideal, wouldn't it? Maybe Sam Walker can come up with another brilliant penalty save in front of the Kop like he did in this game. Compared though to Fleetwood Town, they currently sit 14th in the League 2 table. After 45 matches, they've got 15 wins, 15 draws and 15 defeats, scoring 60 goals and conceding at 59. It's very mid-table, and that is why they are obviously 14th. It leaves them on a positive 1 goal difference and at 60 points. Their last couple of matches then have been a win, a loss, a draw, a loss and a loss. So not great form for them at this moment in time, but Fleetwood have scored the most goals away from home out of any team in the division so far this season. Recently, they did have a very good 2-0 win at home to Newport County. I think I'm right in saying this was Newport's first game since sacking at Nelson Yardim, and Fleetwood haven't been particularly amazing at home so far this season, but with both teams on the beach and having nothing to play for, I guess it's nice for them to finally build up a little bit of home momentum and end the season at Highbury with 3 points. You look at the stats, they clearly did deserve the win. They also had a 3-1 defeat away to Harrogate Town, despite taking the lead in this game through a well-worked set piece, some really sloppy defending at times, and obviously the third goal comes when Fleetwood are pushing men forward and they just got done on the counter-attack. Fleetwood had a lot of possession but clearly did not do enough with it compared to Harrogate Town. They also had a 0-0 draw at home to Barrow. The stats would suggest they were the better side in this game. Obviously, Pete Wild playing against his former club, I believe for the first time since he has left Barrow, but it's a 0-0 at home to Barrow. I'm not really going to spend too much more time talking about that. They also had a 3-0 defeat away to Chesterfield FC. A couple of decent goals in the second half. Ryan Colclough got a little bit of luck, but cut in and took his goal very nicely. I don't think there's really much shame in losing away at Chesterfield, especially with some of the players that they've got at the top end of the pitch. And of course, Paddy Madden would score score against his former employee. And they also had an absolute hammering at home, 4-0 to Swindon Town. Some really sloppy defending for some of these goals. Penalty, own goal in there, and just some really cheap defending at times. Despite only having 3 shots on target, Swindon scored 4 goals in that game, which I always think is pretty crazy. But there's Fleetwood's last couple of matches. They're not in particularly great form, but like I have previously mentioned, they score a lot of goals away from home, so it's not going to be easy. Pete Wild's going to have his team up for it. They're going to want to do one over on us, like what we did with Northampton a couple of years ago. Before we do go any further though with today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. We can try and hit 180 likes, as I mentioned at the start of today's video. That would be massively appreciated. And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. What is your score prediction for this match? What would your starting 11 be as well? Now, in terms of my team then for this game, there's going to need to be a couple of changes. Alexander's confirmed that Jack Shepherd's a little bit touch and go going into Saturday, and also we've got one player who hasn't been playing much football recently, who is a doubt with illness. Now, looking at Jamie Walker not being in the matchday squad on Saturday against Doncaster, could it maybe be him? Anyone else, I guess, would just have to be a little bit of a guess, and obviously Baldwin is suspended. So we are going to see a couple of changes. I would still stick with the 3-4-2-1 formation, despite recent troubles away from home. At home, this formation has served us very well since the turn of the year, so I would definitely stick with it. In goal, I would go with Sam Walker, very good goalkeeper for this level, and despite the second goal away at Doncaster, I think he'll be disappointed with his positioning. On the whole, has been very good since the turn of the calendar year, so definitely should start for me. And obviously he is now potentially playing his final game for Bradford City, so whether it's his final game or not, let's hope he puts on a show for us. In terms of the back three, obviously we've no Aidan Baldwin. Surely Callum Johnson is finally going to get that start. It's been a long time coming since we actually saw him start a game for Bradford City, and I do think, I know he missed the first half of the season with injury, but since he's been back, he's only missed like 2 games maybe through injury, and I think he's a really decent player for this level, especially as a right centre-half. We all saw how excellent he was at home to MK Dons, so I'm hoping he does get another opportunity. I don't want to see Neil Byrne again on the right of a back three. I have no idea how many more times I need to say that, but hopefully in the middle we see Paul Huntington start. I think we're going to need experience in a game like this. Fleetwood's options at the top end of the pitch, I think they're all fairly young, so Huntington can use his experience, marshal them out of the game, and hopefully he goes out with his Bradford City career with a bang. Again, I don't think he'll probably get a new contract, especially if we go up to League One, but he has served us very well at times this season. At left centre-back, I'm hoping Jack Shepherd is going to be fit and available. Unfortunately, he won't be coming back to Bradford City next season unless we pay a significant transfer fee for him. I don't know who it was at Barnsley, but someone on their board or higher up there was basically talking about how brilliant he's been at Bradford City, and they're looking forward to seeing him be a regular at Oakwell next season. So that's a bit of a shame, but that's always the trouble that you do have when you get loan players who are very good. So hopefully again he can end his Bradford City career with a promotion, because we all know how good he's been this season. One of, if not the best centre-halves in the entire division. So if he's fit, if he's available, definitely should start. If not, then you probably go Romney Critchlow. In terms of my midfield four then, at right wing back, I would stick with Brad Halliday. Since the turn of the year, for the large part, he has been very consistent, 7 or 8 out of 10 in most of the matches that he has played, and we have obviously recently discovered the Brad Halliday long throw. Scored another goal from that on Saturday, so I definitely keep him in this side. In terms of my 2 holding midfielders, first I will go with the captain, Richie Smallwood. It feels like a long time ago since I last said that, but definitely my Bradford City player of the year. He's been so important to the way that we play, and it is nice to see him finally back. We've massively missed him over the last 3 games, and if he didn't get sent off at Swindon, I would be very confident in saying we would have already won the league title. Unfortunately, we are just going to have to settle for 3rd, but that goes to show how important that he is, and regardless of the division that we're in next season, I hope he is still a Bradford City player. Partnering him, I would go with Alex Patterson. Don't think he was particularly amazing against Doncaster. He wasn't also amazing against Notts County, but then the game in between that against Chesterfield, he was absolutely outstanding. So I'm hoping that if he's having a poorish to not really too effective type of game, then a very good game, hopefully having come off the back of not really doing much against Doncaster, he can produce another masterclass like what we've seen Patterson do in this one. I think he certainly plays better at home, a lot more of the time than what he does away from home, but Patterson, if he's available, definitely has to start. As my left wing back, I would go with Teo Adaramola. I thought on the whole did quite well up against Luke Molineux on Saturday. There was a lot of talk about, especially from me, will Adaramola be able to deal with Molineux, and obviously he was subbed off after about an hour, 70 minutes, something like that, because he didn't get really a kick out of Adaramola. So I definitely keep him in this side. We all know what he can offer going forward, especially at home. Was unlucky maybe not to get another assist on Saturday as well when he put that cross in the first half for Alex Patterson. So he's been a real shining star since joining Bradford City, and I'll have no doubt he'll be in League One next season. Will it be with Bradford City? I guess only time will tell. In terms of my two attacking midfielders then, firstly I would go with Anthony Sarcevic. I thought he was quite poor against Doncaster, in all honesty. Didn't really do much with the ball, got a very silly booking for Descent, so hopefully he can bounce back from that poor-ish performance. I don't think we're really at the stage now where we can say, well, Sarce is still building up fitness. He has been available for a number of matches now, so hopefully he can score against his former side. And as my other number 10 then, I would go with Brandon Kaler. I feel like a game like this where emotions are going to be very high, I'd rather Poynton come on as a substitute, in all honesty. I don't think he's also been amazing in the last 3 games. I do think there's a potential of the pressures getting to him a little bit, and you could certainly understand that because of his age and the fact that he's a Bradford City fan. But with it being the final home game of the season, I think Poynton coming on off that bench, and obviously if we are to celebrate promotion, you want Poynton to be on that pitch when that moment it does officially come. I don't think Alexander will take that sentiment into it, but this is my team, so I'd rather Poynton come on after about an hour mark. And he's a brilliant player, and he's shown time and time again coming on off the bench he can certainly have an impact. In terms of Kaler himself, I think he's done a more than good enough job playing as that holding midfielder since Richie Smallwood obviously did get that red card, but I still want to see him start this one. I think the likes of Jamie Walker, George Lapsey, Tommy Lee, all a little bit too inconsistent for me, and obviously Kaler, I think without a doubt will definitely be in League One next season. Again, hopefully it is with Bradford City. And leading the line for me in this game, I'm going to go with Callum Kavanagh. I feel like on Saturday wasn't amazing against Doncaster, but again, it's something that I've said quite a lot this season. Let's not just punt the ball up to Callum Kavanagh and expect him to hold the ball up, because that's just simply not his game, especially away from home when he's got big 6'4" Tom Anderson right up his backside, who'd literally eat a brick for breakfast if he could. Callum Kavanagh, we all know that he's 21 years of age. He's nowhere near the end product, and I do think there is clearly a good player in Kavanagh, but his game isn't built around being able to hold the ball up and having the ball into his feet. His first touch isn't amazing. Get him running channels, get him sniffing around the penalty area, get balls into the 6-yard box, and he will score goals. And I'm sure he'll be desperate to at least get one in this game to end the season on double figures in the league. I think he's pushing 20 goal contributions in all competitions, but Callum Kavanagh for me, I would start him in this game, and I would back Cav to score in this one as well. On the bench then for me, that would leave Joe Hilton, Neil Byrne, Romany Critchlow, Tyreek Wright, Bobby Poynton, George Lapsley and Michael Mellon. The players currently unavailable are Aidan Baldwin through suspension, Kieran Kelly, Lewis Richards and Andy Cook as well. I've seen a few people mention we should have Cook on the bench and bring him on for the last couple of minutes. You don't even have to do anything. Let's be honest, he's absolutely nowhere near. He'll be lucky to, I think, play the first couple of games of pre-season. An ACL is usually a 9-month injury. I personally don't see him being able to start the first league game of next season. Let's not be stupid here. I think at times it is a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but there is certainly some people who are genuinely suggesting that Andy Cook should play in this game. That would be absolutely mental. And you all know how much I love the big man, but there is absolutely no way he should be playing football 4 months post ACL operation. That would be absolutely suicidal. Missing out of my matchday squad then would be Cohen Doyle, Jay Ben, Clark Adore, Jamie Walker, Tommy Lee and also Harry Ibbotson as well. So there is my team. In terms of a score prediction for this game, I'm going to go Bradford City 5, Fleetwood Town 0. I think we're going to absolutely hammer them in this game. I've never been more confident going into it. I've been talking all week that we're basically already promoted because there is so much quality, so much talent in this team. They're not going to let the fans down. They've stumbled a little bit over the last couple of weeks, but with the captain back, with the talent that we've got in this squad, there is no reason. With all due respect to Fleetwood, I'm sure they're going to travel in decent numbers and make it a decent atmosphere, but with 24,000 Bradford fans behind them, surely they get over the line in this one. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Score prediction and starting 11, all that sort of stuff. Don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. 180 likes, as I mentioned at the start of today's video, would be massively appreciated. Thank you all so much for the support on the channel. We're edging closer to 1,000 subscribers. The quicker we get there, the better. Have a great rest of your day though, and hopefully there's no more match previews to do. Hopefully we beat Fleetwood and we are a League One football club. Come on, City.